Sheriff, I guess first off, obviously you were pleased with what passed last night, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was the end of a long road for the mayor and the council and I, working through lots of details through the summer and putting a package together that we all felt good about. And absolutely, last night was kind of the culmination of that.
So with 40 new officers, 40 new CSO officers, and cars, what will that mean? I mean, will they be all put in one area? How's that going to work?
No, I mean, it's not going to change really our allocation model. I mean, we still put, we look at a lot of data to decide where we need to put those officers, and we'll continue to do that. What this does is really, again, allow us, though, to put officers in neighborhoods that need it the most, obviously, and put more officers there. So we're drilling down. They can spend more time in neighborhoods. We've talked a lot about the CSO program that allows, a policeman to continue to be down in neighborhoods, building those relationships and doing things he needs to do, and those administrative tasks and the minor crashes and things like that now, we can have the CSOs do is incredibly helpful. So all of that kind of layers together to really, for us, to provide better service in many neighborhoods around the community.
Have you seen a difference since you've got new officers last year to this year?
A little bit. So we're still, we still have a lot of attrition going on as well. So we're constantly hiring at this point and training and putting new officers on the street. But we're currently sitting at almost a 5% crime reduction for the year. As we look at that, that's a direct reflection of adding these resources to the street. And we hope to improve upon that, as the year goes on and have some good numbers for fiscal year 16. So, we think that and believe that that good policemen, more policemen in the right place at the right time does equal crime reduction in the community. And we can show that with data. So, again, this is a good thing for the community overall.
And I guess, too, because you sort of mentioned this, these officers aren't replacing those that are retiring because you're having huge numbers retire.
Correct, yeah.
So you're getting more than 40 officers, but you're just getting 40 additional.
Correct. So our cap increased this year by an additional 14. So right now, by the budget, we are allowed 1,683 officers.
And do you know how many are retiring? I mean, offhand, do you?
No, I can tell you we're going to hire 240 new ones in the next 20 months. So that's a lot of retirees and a lot of people rolling out, and a lot of work for us to do to really recruit and vet and train, and get the right people in here to serve our community.
And are there that many people in the academy to hire that many?
There are. I mean, we have we had a job fair here a couple months ago. We had about 1,400 people come through in the job fair. And I can tell you there's a lot of interest in JSO in terms of police officer, corrections officer, CSO, our civilian positions that we have here. So we're excited about that. We've got lots of people in the queue. And again, we've got to vet through that and make sure we get the right ones to be police and corrections officers and CSOs in our community.
And the fact that you were able to change some of the hiring the criteria, such as college education.
Correct.
They don't have to have a college degree.
They do not. And I think that's helped us a little bit too. So we have, back last October, we broadened the hiring requirements. We didn't lower anything. We just broadened the pool of people that we can choose from. And one of those big pools, and especially for Jacksonville, was 4 years of active duty military. If you have 4 years of active duty military, you can apply. You still have to go through the vetting process, but now you can apply to be a police officer. And we've seen an uptick in that, obviously. And I think, again, it's going to help the community. We get people in here with life experience. They understand chain of command. They understand working in a large organization, and they bring skill sets to the table that many times young people may not necessarily bring to the table. We get some great young people in here too, don't get me wrong, but it's good to balance that with some people with life experience, and we get that with those military personnel.
Something I know you don't know a lot about, but the juvenile expungement program, how important is something like that?
Listen, I think it's important for the community. Many of those young men and women over there who are getting their records expunged today, listen, these are minor offenses, minor misdemeanor offenses, and unfortunately, that record can follow them forever. And can hamper employment and college applications and all of that. And if they've done all the things they need to do to correct that behavior, then they need an opportunity for a second chance. And again, remember, we're talking about young kids that make mistakes. We've all done that, and it gives them an opportunity to again move forward with a clean slate. Good. The technical aspect of the camera is what's going to work for us. We are in the process now of looking at our infrastructure. Our IT infrastructure is incredibly important to be able to download that footage from those what will be 600 cameras in a day. Lots of storage, lots of video storage, lots of internet activity. So we've got a lot of work to do internally to really paint the picture of what it's going to cost us to start this program and be able to sustain it. So we're going to work with the council early to start talking about numbers and what that looks like. But the pilot, we'll roll out in the spring, and from there we will be able to build out what the initial implementation cost and sustainment cost will be for the program.
But right now, it's not costing you guys, since this is a pilot program and they're going to give you the cameras.
Correct.
to
So I've
try
been
out.
asked a lot about the budget. So if I got money in this year's budget for a body camera program, I couldn't spend it until next year. We don't need money for the pilot program. We can work through, we've got lots of things to work through before we spend a penny. And really, next October is a better timetable for us to have a package, again, to lay in front of the council to say, here's what we need in a body camera program, and then work through that process about getting, procurement and again, getting the cameras in and on the street.